Hi, welcome to Cowboy Studio. Today we're going to be discussing our timer remote control. Now the one we're using today does work for a Nikon camera, so be sure to check the Cowboy Studio website to make sure that you are purchasing the correct one for your camera. Now, on this timer, you are of course going to have the timer itself, and then the connection cord that, like I said, is specific to your camera. Now on it we have the mode button, which as it said changes between the modes. There is the start and stop button. Then there is going to be the display panel button. This is going to be the release button, and it does have a locking mechanism, so you can lock it in when you're doing any kind of timer function. This is going to be the jog dial. This is what helps you set the time. Now to get time, you're going to simply push it once, and it's going to make the seconds blink. And then if you push it a second time, it's going to go up to the minutes. And then if you push it a third time, it's going to change your hours. And then once you push it again, your time will be set. Now at the bottom here is going to be where the battery gets placed in, and you can remove it by so. We're going to discuss the different modes that your camera or that this timer has on it. First mode is going to be the self-timer mode, and you can see the little icon here in the top left of the display screen. The second mode that you can shoot in is the interval timer. The third mode is going to be a long exposure mode. And then of course, you're going to have the exposure count. Now, all of these icons can be used individually, or in some cases, such as the exposure count, you can actually do it in conjunction with some of the other modes. Now we're going to show you a demonstration on how to set multiple shots that have an interval time that have a slightly longer exposure. First thing you want to do is go to the interval timer mode. Pressing the button on the side, you get to the seconds. We're going to take a shot every 4 seconds, or every other 4 seconds actually. Then you're going to switch the mode over, and we want the exposure length to be 3 seconds long. Then we're going to switch the mode over one more time, and we want to take 5 shots in a row. Now once you have all of this, you're going to be set. So what you're going to go ahead and do is push the shutter button one time, and then push the start button. What it's going to do, it's going to start counting down and it's going to focus your camera during that time. Once it gets down, it's going to have a long exposure, which is what the camera is doing now. Once it's past that time, it's going to count the middle interval time, and then it's going to go ahead and shutter again. Now it's going to continue to go through this cycle until it reaches the number of shots that we've designated it to take, which in this case I do believe was 4 or 5. Now once it's completed this, your camera will stop automatically, just by the timer telling it to do so. Now if you want to stop it during any time during this, you simply just press the stop button, and it'll actually cause it to start or stop. Now it had actually finished, so it just restarted, but to stop it, you just push the stop button and it'll pause right there in the middle. Now if you are working at night, you can press this display button and it'll actually light up the display. Now you can go for several seconds or several minutes or hours between shots or anything like that. So if you're taking any kind of time lapse where it needs to go overnight or anything like that, this is a great function. Now if you have any questions or you need any additional help or information, please feel free to visit us at our CowboyStudio.com website.